Hey guys, welcome back to some Raid. Today's video, we're going to be breaking down the fusion and showing you how to get these much higher level champions, and building these out is going to be, and it is incredibly time consuming. Took a little bit to get my head really wrapped around this, but we are starting day 4 on the Raid account right now. We're already up to level 31 and we have 2 more days till we can pick up Alice, which I'm super excited about. So let's hop in the portal, and I want to kind of break down fusion. Now, as you can see, this can be very complex. There are a lot of different champions in here. Also, looking at our left-hand side, we do have some mythic champions. We have some legendary. We have some epic. There are a lot of champions in here. And you'll also notice that there are kind of stacked champions in the very bottom. So let's start off just with Fabian, because this is one that, of course, is coming out 6th anniversary. This is one that a lot of players are looking for. And you'll notice right in the bottom, and I kind of noticed this when I was looking, is when you look at the champion in here, it's Hide Stitcher Born support champion, but you can see that it is all the same champion. Even looking right here, when we start looking at the Light Warder, again, it is this champion in the entirety. Very interesting to see kind of how they did this. So you need 4 of these 4-star level 40 fully ascended champions. So these are your fodder essentially within this level, and then it goes up and rolls up into the Light Warder that we have right here. You need 4 of these to fuse to make ultimately this champion. Now we know, again, this is a very, very legendary support champion, one that a lot of players have said they are absolutely looking for, that they do want to build for the big PvP aspect. But when you start looking at other champions, and this is where I was kind of breaking it down and looking at it, because looking at like the Relic Keeper or even looking at Broadmaw right here, you can see we do have some of our uncommon champions in the bottom. You can see these little red dots right next to those champions. Those are actually champions that I own. So having the ability to build these up in their entirety means that your uncommons that are down here are going to fuse or go together and build up and essentially fuse into the Rock Beast right here. As you can see, this champion can also be bought or acquired through Void Shards. Now, Void Shards, so far, I don't think I've gotten one single Void Shard. I might have one at this point. Again, we're a couple days in. We're not doing super pay to win. We're completely free to play. But as it sits right now, looking at building these up and having the ability to fuse them into a Void Champion, and then those 4 Void Champions do fuse together to Broadmaw, which is right here. Very, very unique, very cool looking champion. But one thing that I do note, and I had to search for it a little bit, is when you fuse your champions together, you do lose those champions. So thinking about bigger picture getting these, because even down here, when you're looking at the very bottom, I need 4 uncommon champions that have to be at 3 stars that are max level at level 30, and they are also maxed in the Ascension. So thinking about how many materials, and I just want to hop into one of these champions and looking here. So let's hop in the tavern. You can see this is what I have. 2-star uncommon. We need a 3-star. We need a level 30, which means building this one out in the Ascension level, we are going to need a lot of the materials. We are going to need a lot of the potions. We are going to need a lot just to ascend these, not only let alone getting them to 3 stars. So we are going to have to upgrade the rank once they get to a maximum level. In 2 stars, then we have to take them to 3 stars, which is going to start the level over back at 1. Then we have to ascend them all the way up just to get the ability to use them for the fusion. And like I said earlier, when you look at the fusion, when I use this champion as fusion material, the champion is gone. So they are going to be gone in the entirety. Now, you'll also notice that a few of the champions in here, like Void right here, this can only be from those Void Shards. So you have to be really conscious on who exactly you're building and how you're building them. Just because, again, the time, the resources, the food, this is where, as it comes to free to play, is going to be super, super imperative, because this is only an epic hero. When you start looking at the legendary, that is right. You can see now we're sitting on all of these rare heroes that we need copies of. A couple of these we do already have in the rare. We do need to get 4 stars. We got to add on the Ascended, and we also have to get them to the maximum level, level 40. Then we can move them into this area for the essentially for the epic heroes. Then we have to take the epic heroes, sacrificing 4 epic heroes just to fuse together right up here to get a tank, legendary lizardman tank. And again, we're losing a total of what is this? 4, 8, 16, 17, 18. You're talking 20 heroes that you've ascended, that you've added stars to, that you've leveled up just to get the legendary champion that is in here. So fusion is going to take an incredible, incredible amount of time. And again, when you start looking at here, now you're talking about getting a mythic hero out of fusion. So even looking here, when you look at all of these epic heroes, all of these rare heroes, then you're looking at these legendaries that you're going to have to sacrifice to have the ability to get, and this can only be fused one time, so you can only get one copy of this hero specifically, or this champion specifically. So it's crazy to see how much time and how much effort, kind of systematically, that you're going to have to build these out. Now, from my understanding as well, when it comes to fusion, these do rotate, these do change. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, down below. But when these do change, you might be building out, or really focusing on building out, a bunch of different heroes, getting to the point of having those champions. And then, of course, this can change. This isn't stagnant. This isn't stationary by any means. Being able to build these out. Now, looking at this, I kind of want to break it down because I went through the help. Like I said, right here, you can see right here, they're building out the Relic Keeper, and looking at the champions, getting the champions that can essentially, you have the commons, you also do have the uncommons, fusing them up to that epic hero. 4 heroes, even looking at War Maiden, a couple other ones that are really good, but fusing them together to build them up, and then getting all 4 of these champions itself, and then building them up. Now, one other thing to note, champions must have reached at least the max level for rank 4 and level 4 ascension to be used for fusion of another champion. Then you can actually take them a little bit higher, which again was kind of crazy to think. So you can actually use additional copies of your champions to build them and put them into other champions itself. So this is a massive, massive, massive rolling up the hill of the champions themselves. Now, fragments, I still haven't seen any of the fragments. I know a lot of players said I won't see them for a considerable amount of time. And then the remnant summons, the exact same. It seems like it's going to be a while because we haven't unlocked all of these places within the game itself to be able to make some progression. Now, of course, like I said earlier, we just hit 4 days in my gem mine. We just got a gem. We're at 201. I have already put 1,500 gems into the gem mine, which means it is maxed at level 3. Every 1 hour, 36 minutes, we are producing 1 more gem, which means over the next couple weeks, months, years that we're playing Raid, definitely subscribe to the channel because we are doing Raid and Raid alone on this channel, but we are going to earn our gems back. Now, of course, all of the gems, my priority number 2 is the Guardian Ring. You can see right now we're 99 gems short from unlocking slot number 2. We do have our champions right here powering up, gaining levels as we're going through. But like I had said earlier, when it comes to the tavern, you can see we have 50s across the board. We have 40s. We have a couple other champions that we're slowly kind of building. And we're almost to the point where we need a lot more summons. We need a lot more copies of champions. So what I've been doing is, again, kind of systematically using these mystery shards, getting the common, the uncommon, using them as fodder, essentially using them as food, using them for levels, getting the 2 stars to 3 stars, 3 stars to 4 stars, so on and so forth, to build them up all in their entirety when we're going through here. If we can get some rare champions out of here, again, knowing the fusion, knowing how the fusion works, we are absolutely going to have to save some of those. And there we go. We finally got a rare spirit champion. I've been trying to do a couple summons in here just to pick up a couple of the rare champions in here. But we know, even with the mystery shards, I mean, the rare champions at a 1.4, very, very unlikely. Now, I might do some summons here on the ancient shards. You can see we have 7 more hours. This gives you the ability to actually select which hero or what champion that you want to boost the ability to build it, or have the opportunity to build that and pull that champion at a much higher level. So, all right, guys, so that's going to do it for the fusion. It seems like, again, the rare champions go into the epic go into the legendary. Legendary is even used for food to build up the mythic. a crazy amount of champions that you're going to have within this game. And it's really cool. Honestly, when you start going through the index, when you start looking at, Banner Lords have 74 different champions. Mythic, I don't even know where the mythic ones come to, or how we get these. I'm assuming it's just random. If you're so lucky to get the summon with the shard to pull that, 0.5% chance. I think it's even, a 0.5. Now, during the events, it does go to 1%, so a 1% chance. So if you're using 100 of the primal shards, when we do have an event going on, you have that slight 1% chance to actually pull them, guys. All right, but like I said, that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of Fusion, how exactly, if it works, if I missed something, but definitely let me know. And there we go, guys. We got a brand new sub to the channel, but let me know if we missed anything. And as always, thank you guys for watching.